But I ran across this morning, and it really made me think about how we're all kind of meant to be a little bit different, and how we're all meant to kind of be. You mentioned working in a bar, right? And something came up recently about somebody mentioned how, and I'm sure you've already heard this from Terry, but somebody mentioned how Terry and I kind of talk to people about going to church from a bar or from bowling while we're consuming beers and bowling and stuff like that. And the initial thought was like, is that what you really think of us? Like instantly, that's the first thing. But then it's like, okay, wait a minute. Think through that.
Yeah.
And then I ran into this today. I've read it before, but it hit me this way because I think I'll just read it to you. Once I read it to you, it'll make sense. This is in First Corinthians.
Oh man.
First Corinthians 9, starting in verse 19. Even though I am a free man with no master, I have become a slave to all people to bring many to Christ. When I was with the Jews, I lived like a Jew to bring the Jews to Christ. When I was with those who follow the Jewish law, I too lived under that law, even though I am not subject to the law. I did this so I could bring to Christ those who are under the law. When I am with the Gentiles who do not follow Jewish law, I too live apart from that law so I can bring them to Christ. I do not ignore the law of God. I obey the law of Christ, which is love others, right? Mm-hmm. That's Christ's law, his command.
To me, just like the chameleon effect.
Exactly.
Like you're blending in with your environment.
So now, verse 22, when I am with those who are weak, I share in their weakness, for I want to bring the weak to Christ. Yes, I try to find common ground with everyone, doing everything I can to save some. I do everything to spread the good news and share in its blessings. And what I was kind of telling Terry this morning is, so we're actually called to go amongst the wolves, right? Mm-hmm. And we're actually called to go into the den of wolves in enemy territory and be willing and unafraid to not only be similar to them, mm-hmm. but be apart from them in the fact that we have Christ in our lives. Not that we are perfect. We are perfectly broken. We're just like you. But we are unafraid to share the message of hope that comes from a relationship with Christ in those moments. And so the encouragement was, I think it was one of the most complimentary things that somebody could have said about us, mm-hmm. because we have been doing that for some time.
Yeah. You're just blending in with your environment. Like you're trying to fit the social standard to be what you would kind of assume as
people aren't going to trust you if you don't look like them.
It's really hard to develop a relationship with somebody that if they don't feel like they have something in common with you.